a very lovely lady. Linda, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you beautifully and dutifully. I thank you
Perfect.
for tapping in this evening. It's an honor to have you here. Tell us, of course, as we would do in the studio, as we did have you on an episode before. Let's see if some of our fans will tap in with that. Your name, your age, and what you do.
So, my name is Linda. Actually, you can find me on Instagram at Water Lady. I am 60 plus. I'm an accountant and I'm looking for that real one.
I love it. I love it. She's looking for a real one, and she's at the right place at the right time, in the real place, in real time. So this is a real one, real time, Linda. I'm so happy to have you. Now, some fans may remember you were on the show before in studio, right? So
Yes.
tell us about that experience for you.
So, I thought it was a great experience. Unfortunately, I didn't have chemistry with anyone, but all the men were lovely and I wish them all well. I hope they found their real one.
And I do want to. You're making a great point, Linda, for that because we had a follow up. We call it a connection check in, and some of you might have missed it. So what I want you to do, really quick, folks, as you're on this live, just hit like this live. We got a good amount of people tapped in. We still got more people that are going to join us and have some fun. But hit that okay, to make sure that you're tapped in. But like Linda just said, we had some real ones that found their real one, and we want to do more connection check-ins. So make sure you tap in with that. Linda, tell us this. What are you looking for in a real one?
I'm looking for a man with integrity. Of course, it would be a bonus if he was a follower of Jesus Christ.
Mm.
And I'm very liberal in my politics. So if we could align there, that would be great. But if not, it's okay.
Beautiful.
I would like somebody that wants a monogamous long term relationship
Mm.
and to just go on adventures with.
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a beautiful thing. I don't want you to share too much because the real one and you will kind of connect once we have them log in. So that's a wonderful thing. Again, I thank you for tapping in. You will have gentlemen from could be around the world. We have fans literally around the world that want their real one. So you said you're kind of open to the horizon, right? However, God
Absolutely.
might bring somebody into your life. You never know how a real one may connect. So let's do it. Let's have our first real one. I have a gentleman who called in, and you're just going to talk. The beauty of a real one, real time, is we have real ones actually able to converse with each other, see each other, and see what happens. So, Linda, are you ready for your first real one?
So ready.
Beautiful. All right, let's have him log in. This is a wonderful gentleman here. Hello, kind sir. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for tapping in this evening to a real one, real time. Would you share with this lovely lady, Linda, your name, your age, and what you do?
My first name is Ferris. That's pronounced Ferris like the wheel, like Ferris wheel. I am 75 years young, and I live in Vancouver, BC, in Canada.
Wow.
Got a Canadian brother. We international with it. I love to see it.
Absolutely.
Very good. Wow. Now, share with us, Ferris, what would you say makes you a real one?
I guess a number of things. One is a long-lived life with lots of experiences. I can say that my baggage is safely stowed away after all these years. I bring a good amount of emotional maturity. I'm financially secure. I have a fantastically interesting job. I'm a professor at a global business school. I teach in France, in Singapore. I've literally taught in 5 continents. I'm multicultural. I speak 3.5 languages. I play the piano. And yeah, I guess that makes me hopefully an interesting person.
Oh, yeah. More than an interesting person. It makes you a real one. And Linda smiling, those are very good things that we heard. Some people will be like, Pointers, some of the brothers you're bringing out aren't popping, but you are popping in a good way, too. In a good way, too. So I do want to mention to the fans watching, to Linda, and even to Ferris, if as this conversation develops and blossoms, this is, a pop the balloon style thing. So if at any moment there seems to be, but of course, get to know each other more. But it seems like, hey, you know what, Pointer, this isn't going to work for me. You can say the word pop, and this is going to come up on the screen. It's going to go like that. And then you might even hear a little sound like that, and that just represents that the connection wasn't established. But that's not happening right now. But just, as y'all develop, and if you see something, hear something that you don't agree with, you can pop, pop, pop. Pop the balloon. But anyway, Farrah, share with us this. What are you looking for in a real one?
For me, I guess the important values that I look for in a potential mate is someone who's kind and compassionate, who has similar value to my own in terms of integrity, honesty, trust. Somebody who is not afraid of being vulnerable, is not afraid of me being vulnerable with her, which again implies a certain amount of trust. I find things like common hobbies are important but not critical because one can learn them. So, for example, if someone likes golf and I'm not a golfer, I can learn how to play golf. There are certain things that I'm not that great at. Anything in snow is basically just not in my genes. But I have a lot of flexibility on things like hobbies. But the things that are important are essentially the emotional values that one brings into to a relationship. So that would be what I would say.
That's beautiful. Wow. Thank you for that thorough answer. You're so just multifaceted. You're a remarkable individual and you're a real one. And that's why we have you here. Let me go for this question that I'm sure Linda would like to know. What are some of your deal breakers? We call them heartbreakers. It would make you pop if your partner was doing some of these things.
To me, a big deal breaker, I know this word is kind of overused these days, but anybody who's got what I would call narcissistic tendencies is probably not going to be a good match with me. I want to be with somebody who's, open to nurturing and flourishing a relationship rather than admiring herself. So that would be a bit of a deal breaker, I should say, with me.
Very good. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Wow, that is very significant. Well, what I want to do at this point, I want to throw it to the lovely lady, Linda. Linda, do you have a question that you would like to ask Ferris?
So, Ferris, you live quite a ways from where I'm at. I'm actually in Los Angeles, California.
Right.
So how would you work that long distance relationship?
Good question.
Interesting you mentioned this because I actually have some friends in LA. I love LA. I think it's a fantastic place. I've always been fond of Hollywood and the whole entertainment scene and so on. What I would say is LA is, first of all, it's the same time zone as Vancouver, so that's important. Having flown there and gone there several times over the years, it's only about a 2.5 hour flight. So that can work. I've actually had somebody tell me the other day that, not in a romantic sense, but she said that having a long distance relationship might bring its own positives, in the sense that one can lead kind of, your own life in LA, my own life here in Vancouver, and then you can meet somewhere in between, maybe it's in Seattle, Portland, whatever. One can work out. Or if you haven't seen Canada, you haven't been to Vancouver, it is an absolutely spectacular city. If I would turn my phone now, you'd see how beautiful it is, a city, and it really is a phenomenal place.
Well, it's 75 degrees today, so it was beautiful here as well. And I have never been to Vancouver, as a matter of fact.
Well, there you go.
Oh, Linda, that's lovely.
Wow, what a view.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You'd have to venture out there. Wow. Vice
What
versa.
a view.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's beautiful. Okay. Well, I want to do my job a little more then, ask a few more questions. Ferris, what would you do? Now, this is a very funny question because we learned during the pandemic that you can go on virtual dates. So I don't know, what would you have in mind for even if it's a first virtual date with you and Linda? What would you do?
I've actually done that during COVID. I used to have virtual date dinners, whereby I would have somebody wherever in LA or somewhere else in Canada. I would find out what their favorite restaurant is. I would arrange to have a meal delivered from that restaurant to their home. Same thing for me. And then we have a meeting just like we're having right now and have dinner. Now, the only difference, of course, is we're not present physically, but you can share everything else. You're still having dinner together. You're having a chat. You can talk, laugh, joke, do all the things that one would normally do on a first date. So I've actually done that in the past during COVID. We all had to adapt to it. and I did.
Wow. That's elite. Wow. That's a great response. And like you said, we had to adapt. And for those that did, well, the real one that you might have met with virtually, it didn't work out, but still you got Linda here. So you're used to it. You have the muscle ready to make that thing pop, in a good way. I want to throw it to Ferris. Ferris, by chance, do you have a question for Linda?
Well, I would ask again to elaborate a little bit, Linda, on what you're looking for in a man. And I'm also curious in a certain way, I guess, how would you view me as a Canadian? I'm actually, like most Canadians, I'm born somewhere else. I was born in Egypt. That's my my ethnicity. I came to Canada very young and became a Canadian totally culturally. But I'm interested in your thoughts about basically dating a Canadian, given all the things that are happening in the world right now. Yeah.
Well, I'm not actually very happy with what's going on in our world right now. I think that we're in chaos. I don't expect us to transfer out of this chaos anytime soon. So I don't really have any thoughts about, Canadians in general. But I can say that so far, you seem to be emotionally mature, which I need that in my life. And you seem to be, I also am financially stable and emotionally stable. And I need those two qualities in a man as well, because I too mature to deal with any drama.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This is actually a very important one in terms of deal break. How do you feel about dogs? Because
I love dogs. Are you kidding?
Oh, green
I am a
flag.
dog person.
You're getting the dog.
He doesn't want to come. I was trying to get him to come up here.
Well, he must be
He
a
don't wanna
small
come?
dog.
Oh.
He must be small, but I actually love really big dogs. I am a big dog person, but I am an animal lover, but dogs are my favorite. I like cats, but not as much as dogs. I'm definitely a dog girl, for sure.
Yeah, he's a mini schnauzer. He's about 20 pounds.
Oh, cute.
And he's a complete magnet. I meet all kinds of people when I go out for lunch. They don't care about me, but they care about him.
The love bug. So he's a love bug.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, got it.
That's a
See, I
beautiful-
had a Siberian Husky. That's a very big dog.
Yes.
Some difference there. Wow. Okay. Well, it seems there are some similarities, some action. I'm not the type to rush anything, mainly in this setting. It's somewhat intimate. The fans are enjoying it. So I want to throw it now to Linda. Well, you know what? I want to honor some of our fans that are asking certain questions. Fans, if you have a specific question, put a little seasoning on your question by, adding $1, $2. Oh, okay. Let's honor the doggy. Yes, the doggy is here. Ferris, want to introduce your little baby?
So yeah, his name is Cairo, like the city, because that's where I was born.
Cairo.
Ooh.
Well, Cairo's pretty cute. I'm gonna say right now.
Okay, he doesn't want to. He's shy. Well, he's actually not shy, but he's looking outside.
Such a view. You can't beat that
With
view.
the view, he's looking at the view, right?
Right. So fans, if you have a question, add a little seasoning, pay a little to help, the show grow and glow. But I will ask this question as some fans have asked it, and Linda mentioned it. Ferris, in terms of faith, Linda mentioned she would prefer someone that is a believer in Jesus Christ. What are your thoughts on that, Ferris?
Okay, so going back to where I was born in Egypt, which, as you probably know, is predominantly a Muslim country.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I, however, come from a minority Christian community called the Coptic Church, which is about 10% of Egyptians are Christians. It's a very old church. It's very similar to the Greek and East European churches. Our Christmas officially is January 7, not December 25. So I was brought up in quite a religious environment in our family as a Copt. I will say that I'm not practicing, but I'm spiritual. I understand most of what Christianity has to bring and teaches in the Bible and so on. I don't go to church. I have to be kind of open and honest about that. But I am a spiritual person, and I try to live by by the guidance and the principles of Christianity and many other faiths that have a lot to bring. My regret is that not too many people do.
Yes.
That's a different conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Linda, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I love it that he does follow the Christian faith. That is actually important to me, because I feel that I want somebody's values to align with my values. I do go to church, and it's something that that gives me calm and peace when I do. It's my quiet time, and it's something that I enjoy. So I do frequent church once a week. That's just who I am as a person. Um, like I said, so far it's very positive.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal, as we don't want to drag anything out. You do have other gentlemen, Linda, that do tap in and want to get to know you. So you kind of have a unique decision to make. You can continue to talk to Ferris a little more, or you can, and this is a very unique thing. And as we explore this format, we can have Ferris kind of wait on the sideline. You can talk to another real one, see how that goes, and then see what happens. So it's like you normally would give the heart or keep the heart if you were here in the studio.
Right.
But I kind of want to give you that option because we have another gentleman here who you might want to hear from. He's one of my favorite real ones. So it's up to you, Linda. Do you want to continue to talk to Ferris a little more? Talk to another real one? What do you want to do?
Well, I enjoy Ferris's company very much, but I'd like to explore the options.
Yeah.
That's
So
okay.
Ferris, what I want to have you do, Ferris, you can wait on the sideline. This is a really unique situation because
That's
I don't
fair.
want to, she's not ready to pop.
Oh,
you
no.
know, and it doesn't seem like Ferris wants to pop. Right. So let's do this. We're going to have another gentleman come on. So Ferris, you wait here. Here. Okay. And then what's going to happen? So Linda, what's going to happen is now, like I said, if at any moment you need to, do this kind of thing, that will come up, and it's time to pop. But I have a real one here that had a lot of fans smiling. He had me smiling. He was a wonderful individual. So I'm going to have him pop in now. This is another real one, folks. That's why this format is so engaging. Nothing else like it. So let's do it. Let's have this gentleman come on. Kind sir, how you doing? Roger, you there with me?
Okay, I didn't know I was
snuck
on.
up on you, Roger. I snuck up on you.
You surely did. By the way, very nice piano and very lovely lady.
Very good. Roger, you're such a real one, and we're happy some fans may remember that Roger was on the show in studio, right? So I think that's very important. So Roger, why don't you share your name? Well, you already shared your name, but just so I love when you say it, your name, your age, and what you do.
My name is Roger Rod. What I do is I work in a number of different jobs. I freelance as a private detective, a bounty hunter, and a bodyguard.
Wow.
And one thing that I would never want to do is stand in the way of true love. This very lovely lady and a very kind-hearted gentleman look like they're a much better match than I could ever be. I would love to, at least at some point, be some kind of a Cupid in my career. I could throw that in my resume. And I'm going to step aside and very respectfully pop in deference to what I look at as a couple of real ones may have met each other on this show.
Wow. Okay. Well, we will play that. But Roger, what's so unique about this format is you can still share a little about you. So some ladies, you're popping on Instagram. I want you to share what you do, Roger, because you may have some lady slide in your DMs.
Geez, that would really be a shock. That really would. I have a very unusual life. I've been in the entertainment business for a long time, but nobody wants to hear about another actor or another comic. If you haven't heard of me before, that means I have to have sideline gigs. So that's what I do. And I like the stuff that I do on the side. I have worked some very interesting high-profile detective cases. I did law enforcement in the mid-'80s. And so worked now in squatter removal, which is something that is unfortunately a fast-growing business, particularly in the state of California. But that's just kind of an oversight picture of what it is that I do in the department of kind of the protection and the detection business, if you will. But most of the time, my true love will always be performing. But as you well know, it's an all or nothing proposition. I've made not a living at it. I've made a living at it when I lived in New York. I don't want to live in New York. I made a living at it when I lived in Las Vegas. I don't want to live in Las Vegas. So if you live here in Los Angeles, which is essentially a showcase town, if you have a name and in front of it are the words "who the F is," then you still need to have a job.
Understood. Yeah. Well, you've made it work. And I think I remember when you were on the show and you rocked the house and a lot of fans were marveled, just like they are with mine. You're all natural hair. You
Yeah.
know, so Linda, if you see that, Roger and I are
Natural here too.
You know, Linda, of course, you're a goddess. But you know, Roger and I, for us brothers to have this kind of thing is remarkable. You know, but at any rate, so Roger did, you know, pop himself out. He sees that there could be a connection between you and another gentleman that has a lovely dog named Cairo. Now, I do want to say, let me just shout out this wonderful individual. I want this to appear on the screen. I might have already messed it up. Give me a second, folks. I just want to shout out this wonderful person that's from the UK. They sent a little blessing. I'm from the UK. I don't have Cash App, but here's a super chat for all the laughter you've given me. Thank you, Gina. Gina, oh man, don't make me reference Martin Lawrence. You are amazing.
Right on, Gina. Right on.
You're amazing, and that's why you're helping Linda find her real one. You know, and Roger,
Gotta
here
find
too.
that real one.
You gotta find that real one. You know, so we
Gotta find
appreciate
him.
that for real.
He's out there.
Before I sign off, could I say one more thing?
Roger, I want you to know, I didn't want you to just leave so soon, Roger. You've been waiting. You have people that literally appreciated you on your show, so please share a little more.
And this is not any kind of an apple polishing. This is a simple. All I ever do is tell the truth. That way, I don't have a good memory. I think you are the biggest undiscovered talent in this game. You are exceptionally charismatic, charming. You're well spoken, and now I just saw that you play the piano, which is easily my favorite. I would have to say listening instrument. You did the vocals were satisfactory, but
I'm working on it, Roger. I'm working on it.
Yes, but the song was so sad.
Well, yeah, but then again, isn't love often sad?
It can break your heart, Roger.
Not if you do it right. Not if you do it right.
Unless we're doing it right, we probably wouldn't be on this show.
Roger's keeping it real. He's a real one, Linda.
Yes,
he
you
is
are,
a real
Roger.
one. He is a real one. Wow. But Roger, I truly appreciate that. You are a real one, and that's why we had you back. I appreciate you. I mean, I'm gonna look out for you though, because I know some ladies they're in the comments going a little crazy for you. So I'll tab back in with you.
There you go.
Fantastic. Best of luck to everyone. Appreciate it.
You are awesome, Roger.
Bye, Roger.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Well, Linda, I'm going to have Ferris come back on because it looks like there could be some real one connecting there. And you can even ask a few more questions. And then after that, we got to see what's popping. I do want to shout out, there are a few real ones that became members. So before we have Ferris come back on, I do want to say we have memberships. We do have memberships. Now, I just want to keep it real. Some people, oh, Pointer, you're charging for your content. It's like, this ain't free. This ain't free. You have to pay for a studio, right? You have to pay. I love paying for the dates of my real ones that connect, right? And that's coming out of dear little Pointer's pocket, right? So if you want to support, right, it ain't rocket science, and you're going to see the episode too. So for those of you that are like, oh, where's my episode? I was on the show. Trust me, Pointer has you covered because Pointer loves you, right? But anyway, Linda, are you ready to talk to that same real one? That is,
of course.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
All right, let's have him enter back. Here we go. I want to see Ferris. So you just even saw Linda kind of, well, Roger just totally bowed out. He was like, hey, when he sees love.
He saw the connection.
Yeah, he saw the real one connection. So Ferris, what are your thoughts right now as you hold Cairo and you're thinking?
Well, I'm certainly intrigued and would like to explore this a bit further and see where it leads to.
Okay, so Linda, do you have another question for Ferris?
So many questions.
All right.
So Ferris, do you have a family?
I do. So I'm single, divorced. I have two daughters, 35 and 33.
Okay.
And
any grandchildren?
No grandchildren yet.
All right.
Okay.
And do you have a close connection with your girls?
I have a very close connection with them, and I actually have even a close connection with my ex. We decided we wanted to have this to be respectful and a good split, if you will. Just things didn't work out after a number of years, and we still see each other as a family. Christmas, New Year's, at times we celebrate each other's birthdays and all of that. So it's a velvet separation, if one could call it that way. And I think personally, that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Well, that is amazing.
You're doing some laughing. I hope it's not my facial expressions. Linda, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I can't even imagine celebrating my birthday with my ex-husband, but I mean,
very unique.
But we do have to see each other. I mean, on various occasions. I mean, I have a daughter and I have a stepdaughter, and So, there was family events, there's weddings, there's christenings, there's many things going on. So, but I don't think that, unfortunately, Ferris, between the long distance situation and you're celebrating with your ex-wife, that was too much for me.
Are you
I'm
gonna?
gonna pop.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
we're popping. We're popping.
But you are an amazing man and a man of many qualities, and I wish you much luck.
Thank you, and the same to you. Enjoyed this.
Now,
Thank you
Ferris,
so
before
much.
you go, because Ferris, you are a real one, and there are some that would be understanding of that, and I want to talk about that. I mean, I guess I'll just shoot now. There's a beauty to that, to that dynamic of, hey, we ended amicably. And Linda, you said it perfectly. But it's interesting, even for me in my relationships, to think of, do I still want to be, of course, cordial, as that's how
sure.
the Lord would have it be, and there's no bad blood per se. But I mean, Ferris, you're a real one. So do you have an Instagram or a way that some of these ladies that might be like, hey, I'll celebrate with him and his ex-wife and the other ex but do you have an Instagram?
Well, hold it. You're not going to celebrate with my ex-wife. I don't want to give the impression.
I don't want to party with you.
I think I probably gave the wrong impression. It's not like we're spending 24/7 with each other. We don't. It's just some important events like birthdays and so on we kept. But that's really the extent of which. But in any event, you asked about my Instagram. I do have one. It's basically my full name in lowercase, Ferris Buelos, day off, because as you can see, my name rhymes with Ferris Bueller. And I've had this my entire life. Everybody asks me if I've had the day off like he did. I always say, no, I didn't get to drive the Ferrari yet. I'm still waiting to do that. So my Instagram is Ferris Bueller's day off.
Wow, I love it. And that was on my mind, but some people get, triggered and traumatized by being likened to a famous character. So, but you're the man. Wow. Thank you, Ferris, for that. So ladies, if you want to, slide in Ferris's DMs, he's open. He's got a beautiful little dog, Cairo, great views in Vancouver. We thank you, Ferris, for coming out, for real.
And very interesting man.
Okay, that's great. Good luck, Linda.
You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ferris.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Linda, all right. Well, you kept it real, Linda. You kept it real.
He lives a long way away.
What is your ideal distance that you maybe be comfortable traveling?
I mean, I wouldn't mind traveling like an hour or two. I mean, if somebody lived in San Diego, which is, or Palm Springs or Indio, or because I'm sort of like in the middle there, that would be more ideal for me. I mean, really, ideally, it would be somebody that lives closer, because I feel that in a dating relationship, you can't be, out of state, truly. Not at this point in my life. Okay. Because then, I just don't think that would work for me. Somebody has to move. Somebody would have to move.
Definitely down the line.
Yeah.
But like you said, if maybe they checked off all your boxes, like, because as you were connecting with Ferris, it was seeming to really progress beautifully. Yes. But then that red flag, as we may call it, kind of took you back.
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, that, and the fact that he's not close. I mean, I literally have to get on a plane just to have a date. I mean, I'm not much for the virtual dates. I like in person because, I'm an accountant. I work from home, and, I want to get out. I want to do something with somebody. I don't want to have a virtual date at home. I can be home by myself. I don't need to do that with a partner. Yeah.
That is very true. Yeah, that is very true. Well, I do want to say, let me just say a few important announcements, Linda. Sure. Members, if you want to join our memberships, we have videos that are exclusive to members. Some videos only members are going to see. In terms of those great episodes that you love so much, you are going to see them, but you can get early access with a membership. Once again, we'll throw this up too. Support your boy. If you love Pointer, hook him up, hook us up, help us grow and glow with you so we can continue to make it pop. Okay, so very good with that. And I do want to say, hey, we pinned the link to the top of the chat. So if there's any gentlemen out there and it's like, hey, Linda is a beauty and I want to tap in and talk with her, do that now. It's a very simple way to get connected to Linda. I will say we did have 2 more brothers that were ready to go, but I don't know if they got scared when they heard about Jesus. And I know that that can be a red flag for some people in my own experience, Linda. So maybe talk about that a little more, maybe your faith and why that can be a deal breaker for you.
So I mean, if somebody is of a different faith, that's fine, but they have to have, they have to believe in that higher power at some place. For me, I just feel that it gives somebody their sense of right or wrong. And I think that the people that I have met that maybe don't have any faith, or maybe they're just not a believer in anything, I think that I haven't always matched as well with them. So even in friendships, So I think that that's just a big thing for me. I mean, I'm just hoping that I get that, and I'm praying on that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and that's one of the most important things, to pray about it. And as you pray, your way, will be directed. But it's important. It really is important. So it appears we may have someone that is tapping in to talk with you. I'm going to say the name that they input is Broski. Broski, I don't know if are you here for Linda? If so, turn your camera so we can see you. If you're here for Linda, Broski, are you there, Broski? Maybe not. Okay. I'm not going to hold you up, Linda, too much longer. Two of the brothers that were here might have been like, okay, I don't do the faith thing.
Jesus made him run for the hills.
Yeah. Sometimes Jesus,
Okay.
you'll come to him or you'll run from him. So,
No
but that's important. And I think it's great that people stand on what they believe in, and you don't want to get into a relationship and you're not connected. That's just the way that is. We want real ones to connect with real ones. So Broski is seeming to maybe not tap in. So I'll say this, Linda, one more time. You already kind of said it. Share your Instagram. So some of these people watching, some of the brothers are shy, even in studio. We'll have people sign up and they'll be like, oh, I got cold feet because the ladies were so great. And so share your Instagram. Maybe they'll slide in there.
At Water Lady. Easy as pie. Instagram.
At Water Lady. There you go. At Water Lady. Okay.
At the water.
At the water. Wow. Well, Linda, I really appreciate you dedicating just these few moments to tap in and find your real one. And trust me, from this experience, more can come and grow and tap in with you. So
absolutely.
And we do have an in-person in LA coming up. So I might have to reach out to you for that, because you can't be in person. We do this for it, and it's quite exciting. Okay. I would have this person tap in, but I don't think I will. They're having some unique names for themselves. Unless they want to, they got to show their face. I see some hair, but they're playing some games. But anyway, Linda, you're amazing. I'm going to talk with the fans now because I don't see anyone else logging in, but you're amazing. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Pointer. You're the best.
You're amazing. God bless you and your real one journey. And I'll reach out to you about that show that's coming up.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Linda.
Bye-bye now.
All righty.